So when I was a wee little lad, I was in third grade, and my teacher's name was so my last name is Morrow. My teacher's name was Morrow, so it was kind of confusing. I thought she was my mom for the whole first semester. I'm just kidding, I didn't actually. But yeah, so her name was Miss Morrow, and we were in like. Does anyone know does anyone go to Matthew Whaley in here? Yeah. Matthew Whaley. You go to Matthew Whaley? Okay, so I was in Matthew Whaley in third. Oh, you don't go there? Oh, that's okay. Well, in third grade, I was at Matthew Whaley, and we were at kind of like an expansion class because the school was so big, so we had to go into a separate building. There was this little trailer that had to build, and there was two classes, and all of the new kids would go into these classes because the school was so big. So we all were in these classes, and it was some people had already known each other, but some people were new. And I was one of the new kids, but I had already had a couple friends there because we lived in the same neighborhood, even though it was the first time going to that school. So I had a couple friends, but a lot of the kids were new. And sometimes when new kids come along, sometimes people aren't too nice to them, right? You guys know? Have you guys ever seen that? Someone being mean to someone when they're new because they don't really know them yet? Well, there was a lot of that going on at the school. It was called bullying. There's some bullying going on. Some of the older kids that had already been there were meaner to the newer kids, and luckily no one was bullying me, but I did have some other classmates people were getting bullied, and one of them, a little boy named Gresham. So Gresham was in my class, and he had glasses and he had long hair. And people would make fun of him. They would say, "Oh, you have glasses. That means you're a nerd," which we know is not true, but that's what they would say. And they said, "Oh, you have long hair. You look like a girl," which we know that's not true. A boy can have long hair, but that's what they would say to this boy, and he would get really discouraged and have to sit alone at lunch, and because these people bullied him, and they thought it was funny, then more people bullied him, and more people, right? And that's kind of how it happens. And so one day, I saw them bullying him, and I thought, that's just not right? I mean, we all know that bullying isn't right? Right? So one day I decided I'll just go sit by him at lunch. And so I sat by him at lunch, and he was eating his lunch, and he had, I would buy a lunch at school. Does anyone buy a lunch at school? Yeah. Okay, what about brings their own lunch? Who brings their own lunch? Okay. All right, there's a little bit of both, yeah. I did a little bit of both. Well, my mom likes packing really healthy lunches. Like, she likes, salads and, gluten-free bread. So she likes really healthy stuff. And I like the more junky stuff. Like, I like pizza and brownies and cookies. And so I said, you know what, Mom? You can keep your salad today, and I'll bring my own lunch. And I'll buy lunch at school, so that way I can get pizza. So I would buy lunch at school, and they had one day I sat by Gresham, and we kind of made friends a little bit. I talked to him a little bit, and then the next day I sat by him again, talked a little bit more, and then the third day I go buy my lunch, and I sit down with my lunch, and he's packed his own lunch, and you know what was on the menu for lunch that day? Salad. Ugh, gross. Who puts salad at school? So there was salad. So I sat down and I had this huge salad with a bunch of ranch dressing. Ugh, I do not like ranch dressing or salad. So I was so upset because I tried so hard to get away from my mom's recipes, all for healthy stuff, and I wanted to go eat pizza. But they had salad at lunch. So I'm sitting there with my salad, and I'm obviously not going to eat it because I just didn't like salad. Which salad is good for you. Now I eat salad because now I know that it's good for you. But when I was a kid, I didn't like salad. So I'm sitting there, and I didn't want to eat the salad. And Gresham, and he's pulling out all of the most amazing foods I've ever seen. He pulls out a Rice Krispie treat. Who loves Rice Krispie treats? He pulls out a s'mores flavored Pop-Tart. Who loves s'mores flavored Pop-Tarts? Okay, this guy pulls out not like frozen pizza, he pulls out hot pizza, he had it in a box that kept it hot, and it's literally steaming. And I'm like, oh, He brings out the best Doritos. He brings out the spicy nacho Doritos. Just heavenly Doritos. He brings out even more cookies. All my favorite types of cookies. He brought out chocolate chip cookies, sugar cookies, all the cookies. He just had every single cookie ever. He had M&M cookies. And he's just bringing out all this amazing food. I'm sitting here with my salad, drooling over all his food. I'm like, I just want that food. And so we're sitting there, and Gresham looks at me and he says, don't you want to eat your salad? I'm like, oh, no, I don't really like salad. And he's like, oh, okay, well, would you like some of my pizza? I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have... And I eat the pizza. I'm like, oh, thanks, that was so good. And he's like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Would you like one of my cookies? I'm like, okay, I guess. And I just ate the cookies, right? Ate all of them. He's like, okay, would you like some of my Rice Krispie treat? I'm like, I guess. Eat the whole Rice Krispie treat. And then he's like, would you like some of my Pop-Tart? I'm like, maybe if you really want me. And I eat all his Pop-Tart. Well, by the end of lunch, I realized that he hadn't even eaten anything. All he did was give me his whole lunch. He's like, you want this? You want this? You want this? You want this? And I just ate all of it. And I wasn't even thinking about his food because I was just so hungry and I didn't want to eat my salad. And then at the end of lunch, the lunch bell rings, and I realize I just ate this whole kid's food. All of his food. Every single cookie, every single Pop-Tart, every single cheese stick, every single slice of pizza, everything. I ate all of it. And I felt so bad. I said, Gresham, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was eating all your lunch. You should have stopped me. And he said, no, it's okay. Because you sat by me and you became my first friend at the school, at recess, I've been making more friends. And because you did that, I wanted to share my food with you and give you food because I know you don't like salad. So, what I learned that day is that when we show kindness to other people, now remember, no one liked sitting with Gresham, but not because he was weird, not because he had stinky feet, not because he was mean to people, just because he was new, which isn't really fair. So no one wanted to sit by Gresham, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to go sit by him today. And people said, why are you sitting with Gresham? Why are you sitting with Gresham? He has glasses, he has long hair, he has that shirt that has Pokemon on it. Pokemon's not cool, which, some people think Pokemon's cool, which is okay. But that's what they would say about him. And I said, you know what, I don't care, I'm still going to sit by him. And then when it came time for him to be nice to me, then he was kind to me. And I was able to benefit, and we started building an actual friendship. And then eventually, I invited him to my birthday party, and he brought a whole tub of Legos to give me for my birthday, and I loved Legos. And then he invited me to his birthday party, and I went, and he had a go-karts birthday party, so I got to ride around in go-karts. And we built this friendship for that year in 3rd grade, just because we wanted to be kind to each other, right? So today, in the Bible, we're going to be learning about kindness and the Good Samaritan.